I've got some sand, I've got some baking soda, and I've also got a Mohawk test carpet that's been recently water extracted, so it is super squeaky clean. And maybe most importantly, I've got a Dyson DC33 that has a really good brush roll in it, because this DC33 was manufactured January of 2018. So despite what it might look like on the outside, it doesn't have a whole lot of wear on the inside. So how about we do a dry pass test followed up by sand and then baking soda and see how this fairly new but old design DC33 performs. If you wonder why we didn't pre-weigh the empty bin, it's because the estimated amount for this thing was going to be probably around 1/10 of a gram, maybe even under. And my big scale only measures to 1/10 of a gram. So I've got a tiny little pile there. But I need to check something else in here. Yes. Okay, so you might be able to see right down there that there's more stuck up inside there, and I can bang on that all I want and it's not going. There you go, see a little better. It's not going to come out. So I really need to go in there and get that out because it's static cling. So give me a second here. Scrape that out. Oh, here it comes. There we go. There's a nice little chunk. And that's pretty much it. So some of it just kind of hides right up in there, and you just can't get it out any other way. All right, so that's about as clean as we're going to get. And let's see what this manages to measure. Okay, here we go. And we're at 0.06 grams, 0.07 grams. Are you going to change again? All right, 0.065. We'll pick something in the middle, grams for the dry pass test. So this machine with this brush roll has some agitation, but it really is pretty gentle. Now we can use my other scale and check the empty bin weight. Make sure that thing's centered properly. So over here we have 10 grams of baking soda and 5 grams of sand. And the empty bin weight shall be 1074 point, I think it's stabilizing at 0, so 1074 grams. Let's see what the raw bin pickup is. Quite centered. Okay. So if I take 1075.2, then subtract 1074 empty bin weight, we get 1.2 grams out of 5, or 24%, and that's raw. So let's do the extracted and see if there's much of a difference. Switch to the other scale. You can see the carpet pickup there. We separate that. Okay, that's probably all the sand that we can reasonably get out. Say bye-bye and say bye-bye. That was pretty easy to separate, for the most part. A few little granules. Get back over there. Okay, so now, what do we have? Extracted. There's our, well, there's some of the extra goop. That's probably not all of it. I mean, there could be other stuff stuck up in there, but probably not a whole lot of sand. So 0.84 we shall say out of 5, and that gives us, I'll go ahead and move the decimal place, that gives us about 17% extracted. On to the baking soda test. Here, just so you can see this, there's stuff that just kind of piles up in there, so I have to re-blow the bin back out again. All right, let's see what the freshly blown out bin again weighs. Stop moving. Okay, for the baking soda test, we're going to start out with a raw bin weight of 1074. Yep, we got back to the sand weighing 1074.0. How did we do with the fine dust? Okay, we ended up with 1079.3 minus 1074. Okay, that's pretty good, and that's out of 10 grams. So we're looking at 53%. Now that's raw bin pickup. That's nice. That's very nice. A lot better than the sand. Okay, so let's do the extracted pickup now. Some kind of sticks to the sides a bit. Let's see if I can get any more out of there. A tiny bit. Okay, that's a pretty clean pickup. Got a little bit of fluff we can remove here. Wouldn't affect the test much because that wouldn't really weigh anything. And yeah, everything else looks pretty good. All right, let's see. Out of 10 grams, what did we extract from the bin? So don't need a calculator for this. That's 4.06 out of 10, so I'm going to round this to 41%. And again, that's a nice improvement over the sand pickup. Well, one thing's for sure, I have an awful lot of sand and baking soda to get up out of this carpet. So what haven't I shown you in a while that does pretty well with fine dust and sand? How about a canister? TriStar. Quick release. I have a couple of these power nozzles. I'll just grab this one. Let's crank it up. See if there's anything left in there. I had some sand actually bleed through the carpet right there. Now let's see if we can get some more. That's interesting. It doesn't happen very often. we got now? Anything else come out? Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely a bunch still left in the carpet, even after all that. Move you in closer here. Quite a nice little blob there, isn't it? Let's see if this TriStar can pick it up. Yep, that's a good clean sweep. Let's sum the performance of this DC33 up, shall we? 0.07 grams compared to an average of 0.19 grams across all my machines. What that means is this DC33 is not harsh on carpets. Moving on to sand, 24%, that's raw bin pickup, compared to an average across all machines, bagged or bagless, of 37%. So it's a little on the low side there. 17% extracted, compare that against 21% extracted only for bagless machines, machines in its specific category. Lastly, baking soda. Did a nice job, really. 53% fine dust pickup against an average of 45%. Now that's against all machines, bagged and bagless. And then the extracted amount, the amount you actually throw away, 41%. Compare that against 28%. Now that's just bagless machines in its category. So for baking soda, better than average and better than average, both categories. For sand, worse than average and worse than average.